Hey YouTube, we got another video, and this time it's going to be some ranked 2s from a player who has reached the top of the 2v2 leaderboard. And I'm not sure that he normally does so, but he is putting himself on the map, not only from 2v2, but his 1v1 ability as well. And if you guys haven't figured out who it is yet, it is Chronic. Chronic has been on the ranked grind recently. In fact, we had him on a show match that I think will be coming out tomorrow on this YouTube channel. But today, we're going to talk about how he had been grinding ranked, because the first time that I actually asked him if he wanted to play, he said, you know, I'm kind of on the grind right now. Let me maybe play in a future day. And in the process of being on that grind, he got himself all the way to rank 1 in 2v2. Now, Chronic is a RLCS player who made it in through playing with the randoms. The randoms being 2Piece and Knight, a team of all non-RLCS players who are trying to make it in together. And I say trying like they did it in the past, or were trying as if they're doing it in the past, because I'm not sure what the future is for Chronic. And this video is to speculate a little bit on what we might end up seeing. It looks like the uploader of this replay is having a bit of internet issues too, because everything is just jumping around. But Chronic, what will he do in his future in the RLCS? I don't know. I think he has been working on his game up until the crucial moment for a player like him, which is this off-season where people are trying out different players and different setups to see what they're going to go with for the next season. Chronic is ready. And if you go and check the leaderboard now, I think Chronic has actually lost the rank 1. He held it for at least a little bit, but kept playing and ended up losing a game or two to drop back down to about 3rd. But you should see him high up, and you should recognize him from 1v1 gameplay in the past. If you're completely new to the Rocket League scene, or maybe new to the 1v1 scene, then you might not know who Chronic is, because his dominant reign was certainly farther back in the history of 1v1. But when the first huge tournaments were coming out, like Salt Mine 1, Salt Mine 2 of those, Chronic got 2nd place and only lost to First Killer. And he's just been dominant ever since. He's always stayed at the top of his ones game, but never really been the best player in ones. He's going to get a poor challenge here, and Hazo's going to finish it off. It's really interesting. You can tell how much the uploader, who I believe was Hazo, was lagging in this game. Just so much weird ball movement that was saved into his replay. Kickoff shot for Chronic. Look at the slots. 3-1 for him and Calm, by the way. Calm and his teammate. We have one more game after this, and Daniel will be Chronic's teammate in that one. But Chronic, I'm really excited about Chronic. If you guys don't remember, last season, we actually hosted the random streams. So day 1 for the RLCS includes a time when everybody is broadcasting their own games instead of the main channel. And the randoms were nice enough to let me cast theirs. So it was a great time watching Chronic and the rest of his teammates play. And he certainly was the most consistent of the 3 between Chronic, 2Piece, and Knight. Now, 2Piece had the ability to pop off for sure. There was at least one of those weeks that 2Piece, you know, was the best player on the team. But Chronic was always there. He's always either playing as the best player or, you know, probably on par with 2Piece or Knight, because he is just so consistent, and he plays kind of a midfield role for them as well. So I'm excited to see who might be trying out Chronic, where he might go. And I'll tell you even this much. I asked Chronic, I said, hey, because I have a decent relationship with him. He's been on my show matches for a while. I said, who are you trying out with? I promise not to tell, you know, the stream or YouTube. I just want to know. And he wouldn't tell me. He wouldn't tell me. If he had told me, then I wouldn't have even brought this up. But he didn't. He's keeping it nice and tight. We don't get to know what Chronic might be doing. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled for where he ends up in the offseason. Right now, he is ending up 3-1 with 1:30 left to go, and catching the ball down from the ceiling, demoing another Calm. Calm just missed an open net. That was such a free one. Ooh, I wonder if Chronic seething over that one, trying to gain as much 2's MMR as possible, and he just sees his teammate not put himself up 3 goals, which would certainly secure the win. It's still possible as it stands right now for Taroko, right? Is that Taroko and Hazo? I'm paying too much attention to the other team. Reset for Chronic. Look at it go. Oh, it doesn't get the double. Crossbar down, but Calm does finish it off. So they are going to get the 4-1. And yeah, that was a forfeit. I want to say I saw an insta-leave from, who was it? Maybe Hazo. But, yeah, it is Taroko on the other team. So GG's for this one. Chronic and Calm absolutely dominating. They were not queuing together. I'll show the Hazo and Taroko are queuing together, but Chronic and Calm are not. One more game from Chronic's perspective, this time with Daniel. Chronic and Daniel playing on the same team here for these 2v2s as Chronic continues his path to rank 1. I don't know if I mentioned, but these games are from yesterday, or for me it's Friday, so Thursday. So we still have Hazo uploading them, so we still have these internet issues of Chronic floating into the ground. But what's interesting is that there is an availability. It's everything that everyone's been talking about as of late, which is an availability on Daniel's team. Space Station Gaming recently not releasing Retals, at least not yet, but having him become a restricted free agent, looking for options to basically trade him out or have him get bought out in order to move another player onto the roster. So who knows where that'll end up. I think everything that has ever been said about the Retals situation, everything that there is to be said has already been said about the Retals situation. So I don't know if we're going to go too deep into it here. I don't have any crazy takes that other people don't have. But what could be crazy is Chronic joining Daniel and Arsenal. The original leak of the fact that Retals was getting moved to a restricted free agent included the fact that Space Station were specifically looking for LJ. LJ of Oxygen Esports, who signed an extended contract with Oxygen. So probably going to be hard to get him out of that. You never know. Maybe there's troubles with that. But there is always Chronic available, who I think has been playing really well and maybe just hasn't had the same kind of spotlight due to being on a bit of a lower team, or I shouldn't say bit. Oxygen was pushing towards making majors while randoms were just trying to consistently make it into every regional. Daniel and Chronic, they have been playing with each other for a long time. In fact, a fun fact about Daniel and Chronic is that when I originally got Daniel on the stream a long time ago, if you guys don't remember, you probably don't, because not a ton of people were following the stream when Daniel first started playing, when he was getting his losses before he started becoming a maniac. But I actually got Daniel on the stream because I was hanging out in Chronic's chat. Chronic would Twitch stream just a little bit more often than he does now, and I hopped in. Oh, he almost owned gold, and was just chatting with him. And then Daniel, whose Twitch username was DanPie24 or something like that at the time, was asking if he could get into my show matches. And I said, sure, because it turns out DanPie was the Daniel that was ranked, in the top 5 on the leaderboard at the time. So I thought, yeah, absolutely no problem. I mean, you already have proven that you're a high-rated player. Back then, Daniel used to get flack for being way too aggressive, being very, very bumpy in his ones play, and it would really annoy people, which is something that I totally forgot, because now we remember his play style, being so high flying and so kind of off ball pressure, like good defense and just great aerial offense is kind of what he made his name for. But back in the day when he first played, it was just bumping, demoing, and just making people frustrated, which is funny. But he had a little bit of trouble because he was, oh, that was a sick own goal. That was a nasty own goal. Because he was 12 or 13 years old, so he was a bit of a tilter and a bit of a rager back then. But anyways, the video is not about Daniel. Just got reminded of that fun fact that maybe you didn't know about Daniel's original emergence on my stream. But him and Chronic are only up 1-0 with 1:30 left to go, and it actually comes off an own goal from Hazo. So maybe the universe is just lining up to get Chronic his #1 rank in on the leaderboard. Oh, by the way, I should also mention, you would have seen Chronic at #2. There's actually a win trader who's currently at #1. I saw the exposing tweet online, basically explaining how the person got no goals, no saves, no stats or anything in all their 30-game win streak. So they're very clearly a fake person. Oh wait, these guys must have trouble in Paradise. This has got to be a forfeit or something, right? Oh, they're gonna play this one out. That teammate just completely stole the ball off Hazo. Okay, no, that's a forfeit. Yeah, they just forfeited at the next kickoff. Oh my goodness, wow. Hey, everything working out for Chronic. This is supposed to be an interesting video about his gameplay in this one, but it seems like mostly he just didn't let them score until eventually they imploded on themselves. Hazo own goal, and whoever Mala is completely stealing the drill from Hazo and essentially own goaling. But credit to Daniel and Chronic. Will they team next season? I would bet that they probably won't, but you never know. Could be some exciting stuff coming for Chronic in the future.